Welcome to TBC News, our top stories. Forum on China, Africa cooperation ends, ties revitalized, action begins. News to strategize on forex shortage.
Still very strong and promising. That is what has been confirmed by Moody's and Fitch Ratings.
Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Nasa Kingu. Just a reminder, you can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. We start in Beijing, China, where President Tanzania China has met and held talks with potential investors for various companies in China. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information, Communication and Information Technology, Mohammed Hamis Abdullah, says the meeting included the management of two large companies that have shown interest in investing in technology in the country.
Leo Mheshimiwa Rais aliweza kukutana na kampuni kubwa mbili.
President Samia has met with two big companies which have shown willingness to invest in the technological sector in the country. One of the companies wants to invest in satellites, and another one wants to invest in the technology of producing computers and other ICT equipment. As you know, Tanzania is in the process of launching its first satellite, and the Ministry of Information has been given responsibility to manage that.
On the other hand, the Executive Director of the Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, Gilead Terry, held talks with Chinese investors, providing them with information on investment opportunities, as well as elaborating on the conducive environment created by the government in Tanzania.
Has met and held talks with various investors. The main objective has been to provide them with information regarding investment opportunities in the country, but also the best ways they can cooperate with Tanzanians. For mutual benefits, President Samia has met with four big investment companies in China. The first company specializes in electronics, the other one, tourism, iron-making company, and the last company specializes in construction of industries.
Furthermore, President Samia Hassan has also met and held talks with the Tanzanians living in China. President Samia Hassan is in working visit in China. She has participated in the just-ended Forum for China-Africa Cooperation. As the China-Africa Cooperation Forum comes to an end, the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, has been one of the key topics of discussion. CGTN's Shu Shin Chen has been attending the series of meetings and has prepared the following report.
Senior Chinese officials and the leaders of African countries have convened in Beijing for a series of high-level meetings. One of them focused on high-quality Belt and Road cooperation. The panel shared its thoughts on BRI cooperation at a 2.5-hour-long session. It sparked fresh interest from ministers and officials of African countries who are in Beijing for FOCAC 2024.
As of now, 52 African countries and the African Union have joined the Belt and Road Initiative. Watching all the BRI achievements in the past 11 years, the West started to worry about the growing influence of China and the BRI in Africa. Yet, as I discovered here at the FOCAC 2024, speaking to officials and journalists from African countries, what African countries now want is to push for high-quality development via BRI so that their economies can prosper.
Yeah, we are interested to hear about partnership with Africa and China in terms of technology transfer, research and development, agriculture, transportation, and mining. The concept of modernization, we are going to collaborate together, like the ministry that superintends in Nigeria is the Ministry of Transportation. So we have what we call Nigeria Railway Modernization, where we intend to partner with China to ensure we have enhanced the modernization of our transportation sector.
The dynamics between the global space has not been in the favor of Africa. Despite us being able to produce quite a lot, we've not been able to see development. So we're looking forward to partners who will not dictate to us how we must build the Africa that we want, but partners who will understand the cooperation and regard China as a friend.
And Nigeria is grown up. We're not kids, so there's no need to look at us from an infantile sort of perspective. We know exactly what we want, and we identify with countries like China.
And this kind of event like a FOCAC show how successful the Belt and Road happened. Look how many people are here. Look how many strong at this event. If the Belt and Road was not successful, we'll not be having an amazing event like this. And I'm so happy and honored to be part of this event.
At the opening ceremony of the 2024 summit for the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, Chinese President Xi Jinping said that modernization is an inalienable right to all countries, but the Western approach to it has inflicted immense sufferings on developing nations. In promoting modernization, China and Africa should not only follow general rules, but also act in the light of their own national realities. And China is ready to increase exchange of governance experience with Africa, support all countries in exploring modernization paths befitting their own national realities. And that lays a foundation for the Belt and Road Initiative to prosper in Africa.
The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in Beijing, China, involved various African leaders, including the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan. My colleague Faithan Gaga has prepared highlights of the historical ties between Tanzania and China.
Before the dawn of their official relationship, Tanzania and China existed worlds apart. Tanzania, a land of diverse cultures emerging from colonial shadows. China, a country with rich ancient heritage and transformative 20th century revolution. In the mid-20th century, Tanzania, then known as Tanganyika, was on the cusp of independence from the British rule. A new nation was born in 1961, and with it, the promise of a fresh international alliance. In 1964, just a few years after independence, Tanzania and China established formal diplomatic ties. It was a moment of mutual hope and solidarity, driven by a shared vision of progress and cooperation.
Tanzania Railway, commonly known as the Uhuru Railway, is a very significant railway for the region. It is also the Independence Railway.
Constructed from 1970 to 1975, this 1,860-kilometer railway was a monumental project that connected landlocked Zambia to the Tanzanian port of Dar es Salaam.
This railway came about when the imperialist governments of South Africa and Southern Rhodesia then closed the border between Zambia and Southern Rhodesia. You imagine that was the only route at the time for Zambia to import and export its goods, and the only port available at that time was Durban.
When every other nation refused to join hands in the construction of this mega project at the time, Tanzania turned to China for assistance. China responded with unwavering support, providing technical expertise, funding, and labor. Furthermore, throughout the years, trade between China and Tanzania has flourished, with China becoming one of Tanzania's largest trading partners. From agricultural products to technological imports, the socio-economic and political ties have been mutually beneficial over the years. According to the Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, from January 2021 to December 2023, a total of 256 Chinese projects have been registered with a value of more than $2.4 billion while creating 29,122 job opportunities. On the global stage, China and Tanzania have supported each other in various international forums. Their partnership extends beyond mere economics, influencing global politics and collaborative initiatives. The Forum on China-Africa Cooperation FOCAC that is being held in Beijing, China, comes at a time when Tanzania continues to pursue its development goals and China expands its global influence. With a shared vision for development and a commitment to mutual respect, China and Tanzania are poised to continue building bridges, both literally and metaphorically.
Thank you very much, Faida Ngaga. Now moving all the way to Dodoma, where Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says the government continues to enhance local revenue collection administration, resulting to exceeding revenue collection monthly targets, citing the month of July 2024 as an example. He made the remarks today while adjourning of the Parliament in Dodoma.
The Prime Minister says the government has put in place various strategies, including the administering the existing tax base and conducting regular inspections and evaluations on the sources of internal revenue in all of 184 councils.
The government continues to collect revenue in the country, and the state of revenue collection for local government authorities by July 2024 continues to improve. 113.701 billion shillings has been collected. This is approximately 8% of the estimates.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister reminds Tanzanians that this year, 2024, is the year of local government elections, which are expected to be held on Wednesday, November 27th, 2024, calling on all Tanzanians to be ready and exercise their constitutional rights by ensuring that they participate fully.
Mwaka huu 2024 ni mwaka wa uchaguzi wa serikali za mitaa.
This is the year that local government elections will take place. These elections are expected to take place on the 27th of November. Election regulations have already been made.
He insists the preparations for the elections are in the final stages, which include announcing the list of administrative areas, the verification of polling stations for the second phase, and the purchase of voting equipment.
Moving now to one of the key sectors in the country, that's the finance sector. The Minister of Finance, Mwigulu Nchemba, says the government continues to set various short, medium and long-term strategies and methods in addressing the challenge of the shortage of foreign currency, including identifying some sectors that can generate more revenue that will provide a more reliable solution to the problem. He announced the commitment when he met and held talks with the new UK ambassador to Tanzania, Marianne Young, in Dodoma.
There is some imbalances between what we export and what we import because of the projects we are implementing. And that being a cause is not dealt by devaluation. Obvious reasons that whenever you have an imbalance between what you export and what you import, there will be some pressure on the forex. So that is what is happening as well. As we speak, our reserve cover is still over 4 months of imports. The DSAs on the debt sustainability is still very strong and promising. That is what has been confirmed by Moody's and Fitch ratings this year. And the GDP is also growing, and the inflation is well behaving between 3 to 5%. Even the stability of the shilling is more compared to our neighbors.
On the other hand, the new UK ambassador to Tanzania, Marianne Young, vows continued cooperation between the two countries.
I wanted to congratulate you on your sound macroeconomic policies and clear progress. I understand that we've had long support from HMRC in this area, and we're working to help support your efforts to increase your revenue base, which I know is a particular challenge. And I was keen to hear your plans and get some further insights into how your priorities were going in that area.
The meeting was also attended by of Debt Management, Minister of Finance, Fred Justin, and The Ministry of Energy, in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, with financial support from the European Union and the Embassy of Ireland, have awarded a total of 250 million Tanzanian shillings to 10 outstanding innovators to develop their energy-efficient technology projects aiming at fighting climate change, increasing youth employment, and improving the health of the community through the use of clean cooking energy. Speaking during the awarding ceremony in Dar es Salaam, UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Muyeye Chambwera insists that the grants for the Energy Efficiency Innovation Challenge given to the young innovators is a vital step towards sustainable energy future for Tanzania.
The innovations we are celebrating today are exemplary of this approach. These are not just theoretical concepts confined to research papers or presentations. They are practical solutions that will be implemented on the ground in real communities and in real homes across Tanzania. They will directly contribute to reducing energy consumption, lowering energy costs, and mitigating environmental impact. More importantly, they will improve the quality of life for many Tanzanians, making more accessible and affordable and sustainable energy closer to the people.
The contributions of everyone, but particularly having women in the room, are really crucial. And these types of innovations, I've been reading through the list of 10 ideas, and they're just so significant in terms of charting a path from where Tanzania is today to where you want to be in 2050, 2030, even 2025.
To the winners, I offer my heartfelt congratulations. Your ideas represent the best of Tanzania's innovative spirit. Finally, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our partners, the European Union, the Embassy of Ireland, UNDP, and all the institutions involved in making this challenge a success.
Among the innovation projects which have received the funds include the one that is involved in the production of gas and energy derived from plastic waste and an energy-efficient stove. And when they start to be used, it will help the country to reach the energy efficiency ambitions, creating greener jobs, lower costs, and reduce carbon emissions. The Botswana Tourism Organization has organized a festival to honor the African culture, which has been held in the city of Gaborone. Margaret Getty is there and has prepared the following report.
Today we are celebrating African culture here in the beautiful city of Gaborone. People from different parts of Africa wearing different attires are celebrating African culture, but also food is served here, Botswana food, also music. So today we are celebrating culture.
So this is Fugu, F-U-G-U, or smoke. S-M-O-C-K. This comes from the northern part of Ghana. The tribe called the Dagomba tribe, and almost all the tribes in the northern part of Ghana. This used to be like a war dress. So, but in the language they call it batakari, and it is used when the chiefs and people are going to war. They wear it, and then they wear the hat, and then they lead them. So it's become some fashion in Ghana.
Oh, this is called the Lia from Swaziland, and then I have a lead Kabesha as well. I'm wearing a lead Kabesha as well. Yes, this is a thing.
And my attire was influenced by this guy from Swaziland. So today we are rocking Swazi attire. Oh, good, like you see, the reds matching with the blacks. Because, of course, we Africans, we black. Yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Why do you think it's important for us to embrace our culture?
It is so important for us to embrace our culture because, come on, this is our home ground, this is where we are from. So like right now, today, we are wearing our African attires. Usually now we are influenced by urban wear, you get. but where are we getting those cultures from? So it's good like this when we meet people from Kenya, people from all these different countries, we are exchanging, we are seeing, okay, but your garment looks like ours, only the colors, we speak the same language. How do you say this? How do you say that? So it's so good like that, yeah.
Africans don't know that creative or fashion designers is tourism. So that is a gap that I have realized that we need to fill. Because when we talk about tourism, people think of lodges, safaris, blah, blah, blah. They leave the fashion industry behind. And that is tourism. You talk about your culture. You show your culture, your traditional way to the world. So I would like to say to the African Travel Forum to say, please do not leave the fashion designers behind. I want to see Tanzania, I want to see Botswana, I want to see Malawi. You understand? It's also tourism.
Today we are celebrating African culture here in the beautiful city of Gaborone. Reporting from Gaborone, Botswana, Margaret Getty, TVC.
The beauty from Gaborone, Botswana. Stakeholders in the flower sector have been advised to take advantage of the opportunities in the floriculture value chain. The call has been made in the city of Dar es Salaam during the 2024 three-day Flower Expo. Rehema Sababili has been there and has prepared the following report.
It is the 2024 Flower Expo that brings together flower vendors in Dar es Salaam to connect and explore new opportunities in the value chain of flower sector.
The Flower Expo in general intends to create awareness so that people can understand that the flower business is broad in spectrum and the value chain is actually very big in comparison to what people think it's in a limited way.
It is a lot of opportunity. Even all of us here cannot satisfy what the market. There's a lot of opportunity. People are selling media for planting. People are selling dawa. There's a lot of varieties of plants that we can sell.
For me, it has been a great opportunity since I met with different people, different partners who are in the same business unit, but also it gives me opportunity to meet with different customers from different angles.
Some of the buyers in the exhibition say that the price is reasonable.
I'm really looking forward to shop for things that would suit Tanzanian environment, especially Dar es Salaam is very hot. So I'll be looking forward to flowers and plants that suits the environment. That will not give me stress and pressure to handle them. Although we've been given tips on how to take care of them whenever you pass by the vendors. They tell you how to take care of each plant.
With the vendors is to carry on, advertise more, make sure that we all get to know where they are, and have maybe next year when they're having it again, a wider variety in terms of vegetable plants and herbs, because there's a lot of flowering plants and everything else. Maybe some trees as well, indigenous to Tanzania.
I don't see many artificial things here. I see most natural things, and most coming from our own resources. So people can use this as another platform to grow the business, or to start the business rather. Yeah.
Flower Expo 2024 is scheduled to conclude this Sunday. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sababili, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Rehema Sababili, for that report. Director General of the Tanzania Atomic Energy Commission, Professor Najat Kasim Mohammed, says his commission will guide the special diploma program on nuclear technology to commence at Arusha Technical College, ATC. Professor Najat made the revelation during a joint meeting bringing together the Arusha Technical College management and the Tanzania Atomic Energy Commission.
We have accepted to be custodians of the diploma program started by Arusha Tech due to the fact that they currently don't have as much expertise on nuclear technology. That is why we have dedicated 1 year for the preparations and curriculum review.
Now, before we wind up our local news tonight, let's now take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Make sure you don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. Here is international news as compiled and read by Lua Muhammad.
Truckers in Colombia are protesting against an increase in diesel prices, which the government says it is inevitable and fair. For 4 days, the truckers have cut off the country's biggest cities with the roadblocks that are threatening supplies of food and fuel. The protesters say it is killing their middle revenues. Following the protest, the government was forced to shut down schools and universities, with some people walking for hours to work or remaining trapped. Fearing further disruption, the government now is proposing a much smaller and gradually increase from now until the end of the year, but so far the protesters have rejected that offer, saying they will continue with the roadblocks in place. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has arrived in Haiti to show the United States support for multinational effort to combat gang violence in the Caribbean nation. Blinken arrived in Port-au-Prince on Thursday, where he met with interim Prime Minister Gary Conille and announced a new surge of humanitarian aid. The Haitian government has struggled to regain control and maintain peace amid its own crisis of legitimacy. And Hunter Biden, son of United States President Joe Biden, has pleaded guilty to federal tax evasion as his lawyers seek a speedy resolution to the election year case. Hunter Biden is facing a tax evasion case of approximately $1.4 million over a period of 4 years. Speaking to journalists, Hunter Biden's attorney said that his client decided to enter his plea to protect those he loves from unnecessary hurt and cruel humiliation.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, the Taifa Stars head coach Hamid Morocco says he has set strategies on how to defeat Guinea in the second away game of CAF Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers to be played on September 10th. Speaking to TBC News in Dar es Salaam, Coach Morocco says he believes all teams' shortfalls witnessed during the first match have been rectified.
We have an opportunity to move forward, and I would like to see us receiving support, especially from all Tanzanians. This is a transition period. We will need to encourage them based on the result they are achieving. I believe that in a short time, we'll have great players.
Taifa Stars played at home and failed to snatch a home win against Ethiopia, the match that ended goalless. Only a win will give fresh hopes of qualifying for 2025 AFCON in Morocco. International Obstacle Games instructor Naibe Satia says many Tanzanians have shown desire to learn and promote the game in Tanzania. He made the remarks during special training involving theoretical and practical skills to leaders, coaches, and players of the game.
The rules are applied consistently. You can train the athletes as well, so this is okay to do and this is not okay to do. So that way, on site, while doing it, they get practice-based experience in how to make sure that they adhere to the rules. I think it would make a great attribution to having African athletes, Tanzanian athletes, particularly in several events. So I hope to see you at the World Championships next year as well.
And that's the sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, dear viewer. This is 24 hours of forecast starting tonight at 9 p.m. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Ramadan Omari. Wind is expected to flow at 30 kilometers per hour over the northern coast, Lake Victoria and Lake Nyasa, while over the southern coast and the Lake Tanganyika, wind speed is expected to reach 20 kilometers per hour. And the state of the sea is expected to be slightly to moderate. And tonight, dry condition is expected to persist over most part of our country, with cool temperatures, especially over some areas of southwestern highland. And the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 9 degrees Celsius in Njombe region. And tomorrow, few areas in Kagera are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers, and sun periods. While in my region, we're expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, thunderstorms over a few areas, and sun period. In Arusha, Kilimanjaro, northern coast, including Morogoro region, we're expected to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas, and sun periods. And the remaining regions are expected to feature partly cloudy condition and sun periods. And now, let's have a look on the next further focus over some regions of our country. In Dar es Salaam, minimum temperature is expected to be 22 degrees Celsius. Dodoma region, minimum temperature is expected to be 17 degrees Celsius. In Mbeya region, minimum temperature is expected to be 9 degrees. In Mwanza region, minimum temperature is expected to be 17 up to 18 degrees. In Kilimanjaro region, we are expecting minimum temperature to be 18 degrees Celsius. Morogoro region, minimum temperature is expected to be 18 degrees Celsius. And in Arusha region, we are expecting minimum temperature to be 15 degrees Celsius. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, that is all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Nasa King. We'll catch us again next week, same time, same place.